Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Before we get into the video, make sure to like, thumbs up, subscribe, whatever. Turn on notifications, comment. Yeah. Now, last night after I got out of the shower, I looked into the mirror and I kind of just stared into my reflection and honestly zoned out for a minute, and I got jump scared because I started seeing some pretty weird things, and that made me remember about this thing called the Troxler effect. So that's what this video is about if you didn't look at the title. The Troxler effect, also known as Troxler's fading, is a visual phenomenon where objects in the peripheral vision begin to fade or distort when you focus on a single point for an extended period. This happens because our brain prioritizes new visual information and gradually filters out unchanging details. When you stare in a mirror in dim lighting, this effect can cause your face to disappear, morph, or even shift into eerie figures. You could also possibly see shadowy figures, which honestly is a bit creepy. Your brain isn't receiving new stimulation, so it starts to fill in the blanks, which can lead to strange and unsettling distortions. This concept is related to how brain craves constant stimulations, especially visual input. It's why things like video games and social media can be so engaging. They provide continuous, dynamic stimuli. But when that stimulation is removed, the brain compensates in unpredictable ways, and sometimes the results can be unsettling. Ignaz Paul Vital Troxler, I really hope I pronounced that right, was a Swiss physician, philosopher, and politician known for his contributions to the medicine and perception science. He was born in Switzerland and studied medicine at the University of Jena in Germany, where he was influenced by the ideas of German idealism and Romanticism. In 1804, Troxler discovered a strange visual phenomenon. When a person fixates on a central point for an extended period, objects in their peripheral vision fade or disappear. This happens because the brain prioritizes new stimuli and gradually suppresses unchanging visual input. His discovery later became known as Troxler's fading or the Troxler effect. While Troxler was primarily a medicine doctor and philosopher, his work on visual perception is what he's best remembered for today. He also had a significant political career in Switzerland, advocating for democracy and constitutional reform. The game Bloody Mary is a popular urban legend and ritual that involves summoning a spirit or ghost by chanting the name Bloody Mary 3 times, it can be more but it's usually 3, in front of a mirror, typically in a dimly lit room. The legend suggests that after chanting her name, the spirit of Bloody Mary, a vengeful ghost, will appear in the mirror. Depending on the version of the story, the encounter may result in a scary apparition, a curse, or even harm to the person playing. The Troxler effect could help explain some of the experiences people report during the Bloody Mary ritual. Here's how. Staring at the mirror for a prolonged period. During the game, participants typically stare at the mirror in dim light, which is a perfect setup for triggering the Troxler effect. Perception of a figure or distortion. The longer a person stares at their own reflection, the more likely they are to experience visual distortions or the fading of their own face, which could feel like an apparition or spirit appearing in the mirror. Expectation and suggestion. Psychological factors also play a role. If someone is primed to expect a supernatural experience, their brain might interpret the fading or morphing reflections as a ghostly presence. In essence, what some people perceive as the ghost of Bloody Mary may actually be the result of the brain filling in the blanks caused by the Troxler effect, compounded by psychological expectation and the eerie atmosphere created by the ritual. This explanation has a more scientific basis, suggesting that our minds, well starved for new visual stimuli, can create the illusion of supernatural. It's a fascinating intersection of psychology, perception, and cultural folklore. But while the story can be really creepy and intriguing, I would personally not recommend playing it, and I will never play it. The reason is simple. It opens up a door, metaphorically speaking, to the supernatural and potentially dangerous. It's not just a game. The idea of calling upon a spirit could create a psychological space where fear, suggestion, and belief become real enough to cause distress. Even if it's just the mind playing tricks on you, I think it's not worth the risk of inviting negative energy or even just scaring yourself unnecessarily. So I tried the Troxler effect. I had a pretty interesting experience, so I want to share that with y'all. So for my setup, I wanted to create a dimly lit room, but I didn't have candles, which a lot of people use candles when they're trying to do the Troxler effect. But I didn't have them, so I just had to get a little bit creative. I turned off all the lights, but left my computer screen on and opened the curtains just a little bit. I stole my mom's full-length mirror and placed it close to a wall, and I sat against that wall, positioning myself in front of the mirror. I'll probably have a video pulled up as soon as I start talking about my experience. Before I started, I taped a protection charm that my friend made for me the other day on the door. I just want to make it clear that this experiment is 100% safe. There's nothing supernatural or dangerous about it at all. I just felt a little safer with the charm, especially since I wasn't sure what I was going to see going into this. It was just sort of like, I don't know, a backup plan or something in case something unexpected happens. Like if I saw some weird shadowy figure, the charm would help remind me that it's not real. At first, honestly, nothing really happened. The rest of the room and some of myself in the mirror started to fade away. But that's something that happens to me often when I zone out, so I wasn't really surprised by it. I can't pinpoint the exact moment, but I'd say around 2 minutes in, that's when things started to get weird. My face, aside from my right eye, started merging and changing. My left eye got smaller, almost like it was melting into my mouth, and my nose got longer, then seemed to merge with the rest of my face. Every time I blinked, it would reset for a second, but then it would all come back this weird, distorted version of myself. Like something straight out of those early AI art generators we've all seen. It was unsettling, but like pretty interesting. And then there's this strange black and white pattern around me, almost like that glitch around images that you see sometimes. It was around this time that I noticed my eyes started watering a lot. I blinked more, but eventually I ended up crying. Not sure exactly why. I think it was because I wasn't blinking enough, though. As the experiment went on, there were several times where my entire face went black except for my eyes, and then it would fade back again. That was pretty creepy. Near the end, everything seemed to merge together, and the entire scenes fade to black. After that, I could have sworn that my 10-minute timer went off, but when I checked, I still had about 2 minutes left. That kind of threw me off, and I decided to stop the experiment right there because I'd moved my body and my point of focus, so I figured the effect would need to reset if I kept going. Did it work as expected? Yeah, it worked really well. It was exactly what I anticipated, but definitely a little more intense than I thought it would be. It definitely got a little bit creepy about halfway through, but I wasn't scared enough to stop. But it was definitely unsettling. That said, I find this stuff really interesting, so I wasn't too shaken up. I don't know if I would try it again, maybe? There's nothing stopping me from doing it again, but I don't really feel the need to since I've already experienced it once. It's one of those things that's cool to try, but not something I feel compelled to repeat. So yeah, that's kind of just what I wanted to say. I know this is a little bit different than my regular videos, but I've researched a lot on the Troxler effect, and it's one of those things that really, really interest me, and I'm kind of hoping to actually do more videos about these psychological things, and possibly even some of these psychological horror games that you see, like scary sleepover games like Bloody Mary, the Purple Hearts game, etc., etc. But yeah, that was all. Thank you so much for watching, and again, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, turn on notifications, all of that fun stuff, and I hope you guys have an amazing day, an amazing week. Bye!